Hello, hello. Happy Sunday, everybody.
Julie forgot to mute her computer.
I did. I'm also holding back a sneeze.
It's coming.
Will it stay or will it go? Oh my god. I thought my allergies would be like better now. Now that all this smoke is cleared up.
What's going on, Diesel? Nice to see you this fine Sunday morning.
What up, Brian?
I see Brian lurking.
He said hi. That's not lurking.
He didn't say hi. He said, owl with two colored eyes.
It's a wave.
Oh,
It's a wave.
All right. Oh, man. Rogue? Wait, what's Rogue Trader? I'm not even sure.
Anyways, Doomtrooper.
Go on.
What do you mean, go on? I was hoping you would like jump in here, you know?
Is this like charades? You just say a word and I'm supposed to keep going with it?
Doomtrooper, go. Where to start? Yeah, Schnitzel is amazing. He's old though, so like, this is what he does. This is his thing. He chills all day. He gets excited when we go outside. He's very demanding in that whole process, including when we come back in and give him food. But outside of that, yeah, he's really chill. It's always trips me out when you're like, putting the kids to bed. Like, we're just starting our day here. It's so weird how that works.
Yeah, that's what happens when you live in the Great White North, I guess. So, Doomtrooper. Go on.
Come on.
That's how it works, right?
Yeah.
I put my cool VR headset in the frame, and then it doesn't even, like...
Babe, nobody cares about your VR
But
headset.
I wanted it to be...
Hi, Michael.
It's right here. Still can't see it. We'll just...
Babe, I think it'll be okay
Just
if
find dog.
nobody sees it. You didn't find dog.
I did. He's in the
Well,
mirror.
he's in the reflection.
Hey, Michael. So here we are.
I was scratching my face.
Here we are, another Sunday.
Okay, so you've been doing a lot of UI work this week. You want to talk about that and show off some of the things that you've been working on?
The internet, where dogs and cats are kings and queens.
They
Eva,
are.
and queen.
So we get... Okay, so obviously you guys all play. There's some UI elements that aren't finished in the game. We know that. One of the things that causes a lot of discussion and strife and whatever is mousing. Mousing. Your stupid thing won't even let that come through, so nobody can hear your Mickey Mouse impression. Anyways, it's the cursor, you know, like, oh, hi, Seven. Where the cursor is, and when you're dragging and you're dropping and all of that stuff. It's been a huge discussion since the beginning of this game. So Justin spent a lot of time working on a lot. What do you call that, like, specifically? It's like your deck UI elements. Like the player's own deck.
The deck's over here.
Okay, the hand?
Hand? Okay. I'm not entirely sure where you're going with this, but I'm letting it...
Here, at the bottom of the screen. You've been working...
That's your hand.
On your hand, yeah. You've been working on UI elements of your hand. So,
yes.
So talk about that. Things that you've been working on all week, because I've been listening to you all week about it.
I don't even know where to start. Jesus Christ. the drag and drop has always been a problem, like she said, for a lot of different reasons. And the general UX of dragging a card is hard. So we have like foundational stuff that is going in to start to like rebuild some of the UI UX elements for the version 0.10 update, which is the next big update after we release the deck builder. But I realized that the new deck builder was not compatible with the old drag and drop. And in order to get the new drag and drop working, I have to convert all the old components, which is something that also has to be done for 0.10 in order to change the UI of how a card looks or how the interaction layer that pops up looks. Like this layer here that pops up, like if we want to change this, or we're talking about adding attachment UI alongside the card to show what attachments a guy has, or instead of dragging and dropping the card, maybe there's buttons that you can click on. All of that stuff requires cleanup of the tokens in the cards. So the future 0.10 work to do the foundation of the new UI and the current work of the deck builder kind of collided and forced my hand to kind of do it all at once. So there's a lot of little things happening, like the all of the displays of the cards have been rewritten, and I'm cleaning a lot of stuff up. But you will notice, for example, if I drag a card, the card is a little smaller right now on purpose to try to help people drag it so they don't miss their target as much. And then the current target changes when you hover over them, which is something that we've been testing for a long time. It'll be the default now. And then, so you know, like I'm clearly hovering this guy, I'm here clearly hovering this guy, whatever. Also, the card in your hand, you'll notice like pops up and glows a little bit that you're dragging. And then I gray out all the other cards so that it's a little easier to tell like which card you're dragging. I would also like to draw some sort of line between the cards, but I haven't figured out a good way to do that yet. I also changed it to where I'm playing around where if you drag it to the squad changes a little bit. But if you drag it,
it's darker gray.
Yeah, okay. But if you drag it to a guy, he changes and the squad doesn't. So it kind of defines the difference between where you are hovering, which isn't going to make a huge difference yet. But in the long run, I would like to, like right now, I would like the card to be red and a little message to say like invalid move or please drag the card or something. When you drag it here, I would like a message to say seek cover. And when you drag it here, I'd like a message to say attack heretic. So like you kind of know in real time when you're dragging a card what's gonna happen, which will tell you. But that part is more of the 0.10 update stuff because there's a lot of wires to connect. I don't think you guys will be able to read it, but I talked about this before.
The background needs some polishing. It's so rusty. I know. We haven't cleaned it in a long time.
So it's real small right here in the debug pane, but it says selected card Hatamoto, and then it says the actions that he can do. So that is something I talked about before, which is the foundation of the 0.10 update, being able to have a menu know in real time what actions a card can take, as well as you're dragging and dropping, it can compare the drag to the target, and then it can change that list. So if you drag he died, damn.
Diza says, maybe set a transition on one, I don't know what that means, 1 ms?
Millisecond.
Maybe set a transition on 1 millisecond on hover so that it's a bit softer. But he says it looks much better now. Thank you very much.
So basically, when I click the Hatamoto, you see up here it says seek cover, attack, fight, attack, shoot. So those are the actions he currently has available. I would like to be able, when he's hovering here, it will filter that. It'll get rid of seek cover, and it'll say attack, fight, attack, shoot. And it'll also have like a default action that pops up that says like this is the action that will happen if you release right now. So right now it would be begin attack, and when you drag it down here, the default would be seek cover. And then I can use the UI to show what is about to happen. But there's going to be more pieces of that, but the foundation of that is in there. And while I was rewriting the hand, which I'm working on this morning, you can also click on the hand. So clicking on Grand Assault, it says, clicking on at your service, it says play Fate and discard are available actions. So it knows that the two things I can do with this card is I can play it or I can discard it. So if the UI always knows what's available, I can do a menu. And if it always knows the default action based on the current inputs, I can display messaging about what's about to happen, which will help a lot of the players who, they don't know how to go into cover, but as soon as they drag here, it'll say seek cover, and they'll be like, oh, okay. But if they still don't know, I can let you click on a card and show a menu that says seek cover, attack target, or activate ability, or activate first aid kit. Could be underneath.
Hi, Rockstar. Thank you for stopping in, saying hi and saying bye.
Hey, Rockstar.
Have a lovely day. Hi, Sinspitter.
Hey, Kevin. So it's a lot of foundational work happening right now for the 0.10 update, which is the main focus of 0.10 is messaging and quality of life for the players. Like, there's not going to be a lot of big changes like there is for 9. 9 has the new deck builder stuff, which adds a whole ton of features that you've seen on the Tuesday-Thursday stream. But the 0.10 update will focus on the menu, the drag and drop UI, performance, making sure when you log in, you know exactly what missions you have and what you should be doing right now. If you don't want to play ranked matches, it should start presenting other options to you, more single-player options, improvements to the AI. That'll be the focus of most of October. But September's focus was the deck builder, which led me to having to redo the drag and drop. So like I said, dragging, it pops up at the bottom, and it's a little easier to target now, I think, because it's really hard to miss target. And when you do miss target, like I am right now, it doesn't glow. So here it starts to glow a little bit when you're hovering it, which should help.
I just think about how this is such a simple thing, and how many discussions we've had about drag and drop, about the cursor versus the card itself and all of that.
I mean, I don't know if it's visible to you guys on stream, but I mean, I can drag real quickly with maximum interactions with other cards. And I'm not getting on my computer.
No lag.
I mean, I have a super computer. I have a nice gaming rig, but
it's like the ASCII of computers.
I am not getting any lag, even though it's re-rendering tokens, it's re-rendering squads, whatever. So there's a lot of optimization that went into this as well. Most of the optimizations are mine, but I will give props to Invader. He wrote a new drag layer for Don't Go Out, for our horror game. And I have ported the drag layer into Doomtrooper finally, which it's a smarter way to detect, like when you're dragging a card, the one that's following the mouse.
It's not back. This is just old.
No, he's not back. This is old from back when we did the first expansion, the first horror collection. But how the mouse cursor is in the absolute top left now, and it's a smarter way to decide what is following the cursor. Basically, like the object that you grab tells the drag layer, this is the preview image I want to see. So it renders it smarter, it caches it more. He did some good work on the drag layer, so I'm glad to bring that back in. But it forces me to rewrite all of the pieces of the puzzle. You'll see if I get Longshore and play it. I'm currently rewriting this part, so it's really not right.
You know what's interesting though? I'm kind of appreciating the fact that I can see the detail of that little frame.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like for the first time, because it's normally so small, and now that it's large, I'm like, oh wow, look at the textures on it. I really never noticed that before.
Yeah, I mean, for the record, I would like to fix the problem we have over here, where everything is so small, but it's tricky with the UI. So there'll probably be like a version 1.2 update that changes the way support cards are rendering.
The book one?
This is post-launch when you're opening packs and you're playing and the card sets are done, when we have time to do like major revisions. I will probably fix this area to make it a little easier to see and interact with support cards. Something as simple as maybe designing the UI where it moves that line over a little bit and we just have more space. That way the cards can be 20% bigger. We'll see. But there's a neat trick as well, which I can't really show right now, but you may have seen it in spectate matches. It's another thing Invader did and didn't finish. I'm trying to push it forward a little bit. and he called it haptic feedback, which I don't think is the right phrase. I'm probably going to rename it. But the idea is when I'm playing against Buck, let's say, and Buck is mousing over cards and dragging and dropping, they will pop up and glow on my screen and see a little bit of what he's doing. So that makes the game feel a little more alive when you are just kind of sitting around waiting.
Right.
Like I end my turn, and if Buck is thinking and clicking on things, I don't see anything. It's just boring. It's just static. So this update will start to turn on the ability to see some movement on his side of the board to make it look like he's actually there and doing things, which is nice. It's not going to show drags yet, but it will show interacting with cards, so they'll glow and pop, and you'll see what your opponent is hovering over.
Okay, the sneeze is coming.
So that's really cool. He did a pretty good job on that. There was just a lot of optimization work he didn't do, and he never hooked it up everywhere and turned it on. So I'm trying to understand what he did, which is mostly for him pretty readable, and I'm trying to figure out what he would have made the next steps. Gesundheit. So yeah, so this update kind of spiraled out of control because in order to finish the deck builder, I had to fix the drag and drop. So, whoa. So we're getting a lot of bonuses in this update in terms of usability, UI, and foundational work, but a little less on like the rules engine side and the card side this time. Should still have a few new cards to add, 1 or 2 at least, but my majority of my work is the optimization and the cleanup so that we can finish the deck builder and be set up to do incremental updates moving forward for the 0.10 update, which, like I said, will include menus and stuff. And if you get, I think Buck came in late, a lot of foundational work for basically a click interface instead of a drag interface.
What up, Doom guy?
Like, I would like to be able to even eventually click weapon link and have it sticky, and then it say like select target, and I click the destroyer and it will play it to the destroyer. So there's a lot of like quality of life stuff that we're just not able to do at the moment because of how bad and old some of the UI code is. And I mean, just the hand, the cards in the hand, the squad, the tokens on the board in the squad, the influence cards on the left, and the tokens inside the influence area, plus the equivalent of everything on the opponent's side of the board, is basically all getting rewritten. And that includes rewriting them to the latest React. So I'm using hooks, which opens up a lot of optimizations and efficiencies to help prevent re-renders, which will decrease lag on some of the lower end machines. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff, and people on low end machines will notice a difference. People on high end machines hopefully will notice the little things like the glow and the pop up and the grayscale and the faster drag, the smaller icon, like the little things. But a lot of times,
Justin.
A lot of times though, with a really good game, which we're not quite that yet, you notice the little things without really noticing them. Like you might be playing and say, this drag feels better, or I find myself not mistargeting as much. And you won't really know why, but you'll be like, did you change something? That's the kind of updates that I'm trying to build towards, so that maybe people don't know exactly what we changed, but they can feel it. And that's going to be like the 0.10 focus.
Doom guy, yeah. I think a lot of people were late today. Sleepy Sunday, I guess. We talked about Longshore because I was like, dude, you can actually see the texture of the art.
It's
so good.
Because I'm currently working on that rewrite. What I'm realizing, so a bit nerdy answer there, is what I'm realizing is I rewrote the hand, and then I rewrote the squad, and the only difference between the hand and the squad in terms of code is the hand fans, which you could be fan true or false, right? If you pass true, it fans. If you pass false, it doesn't. Like that's fine. You could use the same component there. When you hover, it shows the larger card and it also fans, right? And when you hover over here, it's a little bit different of a UI with activation layer. So I then realized as I was rewriting this one that it is also the same as the other ones, except it shows a token instead of a card, but the pop-up is the same as the squad. So what I started doing this morning is writing what I'm calling a card wrapper. The card wrapper handles all the sound effects, all of the haptic feedback to show the opponent what you're doing, all of the drag and drop, all of the click events, all of that stuff is handled in one file. And you tell that file, I want you to show a card by default or a token by default. I want you to show this UI when I mouse over.
Why is that? What's happening?
He's sabotaging me.
Oh, okay. Oh, right, because you don't have any warriors. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So basically, it's the same code, like one code to rule them all, that will render all of the cards and all of the interactions. It's just you customize the card that's default visible and the UI that pops up when you interact with it. And that should, as any programmer would know, help eliminate bugs, because the interaction and the code and the rendering and the optimizations will be the same exact code every time a card is rendered.
Bonjour,
so
Makui. Can we, like...
I
don't know how to use this. I was trying to discard at your service.
You'll also notice that I got rid of the pulsing. I'm torn on it, because right now, if you notice, there's nothing moving on my screen. It's kind of annoying. But the pulsing might not bring a lot of UX to the game, especially if you're trying to mouse over like First Aid Kit and it's pulsing, you might lose it. So I'm experimenting with getting rid of the pulse and just doing a static idea. I might add a pulsing border to give it some visual acuity. I don't know the word I'm looking for.
I don't even know that word.
Okay, I'm making up words probably.
I don't know.
But I'm trying to get rid of
it.
Visual stuff just for the sake of visuals if it doesn't help UX. So you'll notice that as well, and we can bring them back. It's literally one line to make them pulse. I just turned it off.
Acuity is sharpness or what the hell is this? Keenness, sharpness or keenness of thought, vision, or hearing.
Wow, so visual acuity. I didn't make up a word. I was correct.
Acuity.
Look
at us learning things today.
So it looks. The bottom line is basically the 0.9 update and the 0.10 update are colliding. It's going to go really quickly. Try to activate attached equipment makes me want to flip my desk. Me too, Mung. Me too. That's why we're bringing in the available ability UI. So if you have a guy on the board and he has a first aid kit, you will be able to click on him and see a button that doesn't disappear magically, and that button will say activate first aid kit. The end. If he has an ability, it'll say activate ability, and underneath that, it'll say activate first aid kit.
Justin, you're a loser.
I am. Notice how the Z index is fucked up here, too. Yeah. It's because of the cards in your... It's sharing code now, and it's because the cards in your hand, they have a very high Z index because they need to pop up in front of everything so you can drag them, but this doesn't need the high Z index, so... it's another thing that has to customize between types of cards. We need to do these later in the day when I'm... So here's a fun little
dragging thing. Ass a little bit, huh?
Wait, nope, I lied.
Well, that's no fun. That's just a gray screen.
All right, well, I broke that apparently. But I was going to show the lore cards. Oh, I know why I broke it, because of the drag and drop stuff. We were working on the lore card browser on Thursday. So we do have the idea of being able to receive lore cards and mission cards and browse them. That should be done as well. So it's looking like, with a little luck, the 0.9 update will be done this week. And you'll get your lore cards, you'll get your mission cards, you'll get your Kickstarter rewards, you'll get your promo card rewards if you were lucky enough to get one of those. And the new deck builder, as well as this new UI UX.
I feel like it's been a long time since we've even shown what the physical promo cards look like.
Yeah, I don't know where they are.
Yeah, it's been a minute. You brought up the I forget the freaking word for it, man. I'm tired too. Our streamer program. You mentioned it, I think, on Thursday night. But there's some other cool stuff that comes with our streamer program.
By the way, that code's not real, so don't get any ideas. But this was the promo card that we basically send one of these out with every order. When we activate the Secret Cal level shop again, you can get these just for ordering something on the shop, t-shirt or enamel pin or whatnot. But there are 2 promo cards that we've given out so far. One of them looks like this. It's promo card 00, or lore card 00. And then the other one just says Doomtrooper. And so this one, obviously, it tells the story of Luna and why it's that important to the Mutant Chronicles universe, how all of the corporations have headquarters there, et cetera, et cetera. And then the other lore card for Doomtrooper literally tells the story of a brief version of the story of how Target Games and Heartbreaker made the game in the 90s and how Secret Cal Level met with them in the 2000s, 2010s, 20 whatever, and got the rights to bring it back. So
the 20-teens.
You won't be able to earn the Luna City card or the Doomtrooper card by playing the game, and there will be more like this. But you can earn them, you can get them by meeting us in person or buying something in our store or winning them on giveaways and stuff like that.
I hope I'm not going to get a glare from you for this, but like when you say you get this card or the other card and it has a story behind it, what does that look like, or hope it will look like in the actual game?
Like, that's what we're working on. Wait, hang on, let me glare at you. So we have
I don't know what the user experience looks like when you get one of these cool lore.
Same as this. You'll click on lore.
Okay.
And you'll come in here and you will see all the cards.
But where do you see the story you were just talking about?
When you click on the card. So
okay.
the first version of it, when you click on the card, it'll slide in a window and it'll have
okay. So it will literally tell the story you just said.
The idea is like the first few lore cards will be mostly text and photos. Later lore cards could have audio and video files attached to them as well.
Okay, that's cool. So that's actually something I've never heard out of his mouth before.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Lore cards won't be playable in the game. They're just collectible, but they also will likely be the first thing that's tradable. So we plan on using lore cards as a trading test down the line when we are ready to start testing that system.
Hi, Thorgal.
Yeah. So the new deck builder.
Deck builder stuff is what you missed. Some UI UX elements concerning your hand. Concerning the hand.
Yeah, I'm gonna be this week on stream. I'm gonna be populating
Attic Space Games. What up, bro?
The new deck button, the Get New Deck button. And when you're looking at a deck, the deck details screen. So we're going to start populating these this week. So I'm probably, unfortunately for Julie, going to be working a little extra this week just to get caught up on all the stuff so that we can get the 0.9 update and testing.
That means I need to find another new series to watch on TV. Oh, hey, it's us.
I don't want a Doomtrooper card with a story. I want it to just say Doomtrooper and I can play it and opponents will be so confused.
Yes, we have to watch Raised by Wolves, but I have to watch that one with him. There's like things that we watch and then things that I can watch by myself, which are usually like stupider things that he's not interested in that I can watch by myself. Oh my god, we watched like one episode of Dark. But yes, yeah. Raised by Wolves.
Yeah, we're caught up on The Boys. We watched the latest episode last night.
Oh, yeah. We're very, very caught up on that. Yeah, every couple does have that, right? You have, like, the things you're allowed to watch on your own and the things that you have to wait for your partner.
I guess you can watch Picard.
Oh, for fuck's sake, finally! Oh my god, I'm gonna fucking finish that so fast. Oh my god, thank you. Also, new Star Trek Discovery is either out or it's on its way, so that's gonna be exciting for me. I'm a big Star Trek fan.
Yeah, I mean, someone said lofty goals. I don't remember who said it. The Buck. Yeah, so it is and it isn't. I view all of the work over the past 4 years on Doomtrooper as like silos, or you can think of it as like a bar graph, right? So this is like cards, and this is store, and this is accounts, and this is collection, and this is whatever. There's like 5 or 6 of those bars that are like, this is the finish line, and they're like right here. So it's like new UX, new deck builder, Kickstarter rewards, new stuff in the store, because all of those foundations have been built up so much. It's really a lot of connecting the wires, connecting the dots at this point. So like the Kickstarter rewards are done. The reward system is done. I just have to test them and make sure I'm happy with them before I turn them on, which I've been saying for weeks, I know. And then once that's good, I can enter new data because I don't the Kickstarter rewards come with a little more than the second chance Kickstarter rewards. Plus the Kickstarter rewards are technically free and the second chance ones will be for sale in the store. So there'll be separate entries in the database. So I have to, once I know that the Kickstarter rewards are working, I can copy and paste it and change a couple fields. And then you'll be able to come in here and there's a Kickstarter or a backers button. And you'll be able to back the project a second chance since you missed out, if you missed out on the first Kickstarter stuff. So, I mean, it's all the foundations are already there. Just like I was saying earlier with the gaming UI, UX, the stuff Thorgal missed, I think. All of this foundation is leading to a better quality of life that allows us to have menu-driven UI and better drag and drop and less lag and all that stuff. It's just, there are so many pieces you have to build up. That's why it's always funny and extremely frustrating when someone will come on chat and be like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Just make the drag and drop work better. It's like
just do that,
Justin. Just add a menu that I can click on to activate the first aid kit. And it's like, it's not ever as easy as you think it is as a non-programmer. And even as a programmer, you don't know how many like server-side validation and client-side validation, and the data has to get passed around, and is it encrypted, and do you have to change things, and you know, there's a lot. Yeah, attic-based games. Just make a video game.
It's not that hard.
Yeah.
God. I don't understand, Thorgal, how you didn't finish all of Discovery, because I fucking loved that so much.
And Thorgal, the stuff you missed was, I'm rewriting all of anything that renders a card. Oops, I'm not showing it. Anything that renders a card on the screen, I'm rewriting. So the drag and drop, the pop-up here, the tokens, everything. And, man, I think this is Thorgal's deck. I never start with a warrior. I do not think you guys put enough warriors in your deck, but what do I know? So the drag is better. It's faster. There's like some UI elements like that change as you're dragging and dropping over stuff.
I noticed that you didn't have a single freaking warrior last time. I mean,
Every
obviously
time
you didn't discard, but
and
like
you'll see the hand, the card you're dragging pops up and glows, and everything else kind of grays out a little bit to make it more clear what you're doing. So I'm trying to do a lot of little subtle things to make it more obvious what you are doing, what you're interacting with, that kind of thing. So,
do you always start with 8 cards?
7 cards. I drew an extra card because I'm a developer. FYI, though, those developer commands are turned off on production, so devs can't cheat against you.
I loved the first season, and season 2, they broke my heart.
Also,
I loved it.
I haven't begged lately, but...
Oh, yes, this is the begging portion of the stream, ladies and gentlemen. We could use your help with some positive reviews.
So our reviews are mostly positive, but we still have a lot of people who come in here and just say 1 or 2 words like, sucks, and give us thumbs down.
However, Seven's review, that's just 1 word and amazing and a thumbs up, is great. Thanks for that.
So we've been around long enough and we've gotten enough reviews that we have all reviews and recent reviews. So all reviews is mostly positive. Recent reviews is mixed. Now that implies that the last few updates that I've done have made the game worse. And I will fight anyone to the death if you think that is true.
You don't want to be there for it.
Yeah, because I've gotten rid of all of the lockups, all of the crashes, most of the lag. I've added more content. I've tightened up the graphics in level 3. And I've pretty much done everything that's been requested and barely slept. So the fact that it says recent is mixed is not true. But if you're a person who doesn't know what Doomtrooper is, you're going to be browsing through and you're going to see recent reviews mixed and you're going to say, it's probably not worth my time, and you won't play. So
seems unfinished, don't recommend is yeah,
we figured out how to respond and I'm going to do it. I just need to be in the right mindset, which I'm feeling better now. Like last week when, the servers were on fire and everybody was reporting bugs, like I don't want to go in there and tell people my game's not buggy. That's
a really good point about, I bet it's because the first reviews came larger from the Kickstarter people and people who wishlisted the game who were probably already invested. Yeah. That's true. That's a really good point. Subterfuge. We haven't even talked about subterfuge yet. That's funny. I think a lot of the newer people just don't really understand the concept of beta or early access. They seem to yes, we're aware there's UI elements that like aren't finished. Obviously, Justin just spent a ton of time talking about some of those elements. And yeah, but some people don't quite get that. Does Doomtrooper have a blog? Technically I do. Well, Justin has a
Your coffee's kicked in.
Medium account, and so we do have a lot of a long ass written out posts on Kickstarter. There's some medium posts as well. Also,
can I please answer that question?
No. Also, I left a ticket for you in GitHub. I made my own answer to one of the nastier reviews that we need to like.
We're gonna go over here. I don't need.
Stop it! Stop it! Yes. Now you may talk. This is what I feel like sometimes when you go on tangents and I'm just like, I want to talk about the chat. Now you're just okay. That's fine. No, I see what you're doing.
Does Doomtrooper have a blog? We do have a blog on Medium, but we haven't been using it because we tried to focus on the Kickstarter for a while because people were complaining. I don't understand how you back a game with a lot of money and then don't follow at least one of Facebook, Twitter, Discord, or Instagram. So all the Kickstarter people are like, is this game dead? And I'm like, how are you not seeing the 4 times a week update we are posting everywhere? So I started trying to cater back to them. But now that we have Steam, we have weekly updates in a blog on, right here.
So now I guess we almost have too many sources of reading material. It's like Kickstarter, Steam.
So 7, to answer your question, yes, we have exactly a real blog with weekly updates. It's just the Steam interface. I am planning on updating the news in the game to just ingest from Steam. So it'll show the recent Steam updates and you can just click to come here. So it'll make it a little more apparent to people. And then I will keep the Medium blog, but I'm going to use it in the future for more technical stuff than like maybe technical, including like technical designs, like designing stat balancing algorithms and stuff. But
whenever you post on Kickstarter, there are a lot of alpha testers popping up. That makes sense, and that's good to hear. How come you don't post the weekly updates multiple places? I'm gonna guess that that's just time. That Justin's overworked and probably barely has the time to make the update, so doesn't have time to take it and put it in multiple places.
Yeah, that's more or less true, Rollers. The biggest problem is if I have to update and cross-post the blog multiple places, that means I'm not finishing the weekly update because I'm in charge of both.
Can we make a compromise and you want to make a GitHub post, assign it to me, and I can like populate it in other places?
I mean, I would like to know, Rollers, how you would imagine that works. Because I don't know how it works. Just copy and paste the text and reformat the markdown onto all the different places? Or, I mean, honestly.
Yes, you okay. I would say that then if that's an issue, you write the text in an agnostic place and then you populate it where you want it to. Make a GitHub ticket, throw it in there, and assign it to me.
You're missing the point.
Okay.
I don't know what that ticket is. Are you're going to copy and paste the text in multiple places? So if we have a typo, we have to edit it 6 different places? Like, I don't know that I
see why that's so problematic. I mean,
because I don't believe it'll get done.
Okay.
Like it'll happen like 2 weeks in a row, and then I mean, look at our Reddit. I made a Reddit because people wanted like a message board format, and nobody has updated the Reddit developer-wise in like a year. Like I don't
know what to tell you. I'm literally telling you what you can do to get more help, and you're like, no. We'll be fighting about this later, I guarantee it.
As much as everyone, Julie included, means well, they always offer help, but then it only lasts like 2 weeks at most. And then the this must be posted by Wednesday thing, it bleeds into the following Wednesday and we're a week behind, and then I end up getting really stressed out over it. So it's a very touchy subject for me because deadlines are a tricky subject for most other humans, it seems. And I get very stressed out over it because I am already getting yelled at by my wife for spending too much time working. So if I need to cross post and then there's a typo and I need to change it multiple places, and then more importantly there's responses to those posts in multiple places, it usually falls back on me to respond. Even if Kevin or Julie fields the question, they have to come to me to answer it. And it's,
I mean, that's not wrong, but like, oh, we got to do something.
I would much rather post the update in one place and link it other places.
I mean, I'm okay with that too. I think it just has to be disseminated. But I mean,
Kevin has been posting the weekly updates, I believe, in other places. I don't know if he's using the link, but he should be, so that it brings everybody back to the updates that are posted in blog format.
There's so much that goes into a game.
So
many little things.
The Discord moderators are busy, Thorgal. They have kids and
subterfuge
jobs
to talk
and
about.
Lots of stuff. So yeah, community management doesn't just magically happen. And community management and game development, everyone on the team, always, with like rare exception, has the best intentions. And
I think everybody has good intentions. It's just, it always comes back to you to manage everything.
Yeah, but even with the best intentions, when you say, this is what I'm going to do, like, trying not to like call anyone out specifically, but like, we are supposed to have people who aren't me monitoring the support channel and responding to all support stuff quickly. And that doesn't happen. We're supposed to have people monitoring the bug channel and making sure the bugs get on GitHub. That mostly happens, but I still field a lot of them. And maybe I should just ignore them, but I don't like people asking questions and not getting responses right away, because in my experience, they join, they ask a question, they wait 5 minutes, they don't get a response, they log out and they never come back. So if the person in charge, whoever that may be, isn't responding within 5 minutes and I'm seeing it within 30 seconds, I'm just going to respond to it. Someone is supposed to be monitoring the Reddit. People requested a message board format because I stuck to social media. I did not want message boards because I don't have time to monitor it. And people on the team and in the community demanded a message board. So now we have a Reddit and we have a Steam message board by default. Neither of them are getting monitored by anybody on the team, including me. So my resistance to why don't you just do this other thing, it goes back to the word just.
Because it's another place to have to check shit.
Yeah, and as much as Julie wants me to cross-post and she's willing to help, she works late at her job and has a fight with her boss on a Wednesday, and she tells herself, I'm angry, I need to relax, I'll just do it tomorrow. Next thing you know, it's the following Wednesday and we waited and we missed a week. And that happens. I do it. She does it. Steve does it. Everyone here will say, I'm tired. I will do my responsibility tomorrow. And then tomorrow is gone. And it's next week before you know it. And that's the truth.
Discord is technically a live message board. I think Justin really for a long time really just wanted to direct everything to Discord. One place to rule them all for simplification.
Just imagine if I have 35 different platforms for communication popping up notifications all day long while I'm trying to finish the new deck builder. You guys don't get new cards. You don't get the new deck. But on the flip side, if I don't respond on the existing platforms we have, then somebody, like someone earlier said, Steam, who reads that? You'd be surprised.
I think a lot of people read that. Actually.
I would say about 70% of the fans of Doomtrooper, which is thousands of people who have signed up that they want to play this game, had no idea that the beta was out until the day it launched on Steam. Like, people do not read anything except Steam. And that's, if I don't put the updates on Steam, I guarantee people will start doing bad reviews and they'll say, oh, this game is dead.
Ugh. Yeah, and then Doom Guy earlier, you said, would it be best to post this update on Steam and link it everywhere else?
That's
but
what I'm...
it's still gonna do what he doesn't want. There's still, even though you post, even though it takes them to Steam, I think they'll still respond on Kickstarter and be like, blah blah, and you'd still have to log in there and monitor.
I mean, I've started making it very clear. Like, if you go to the Doomtrooper discussion board, I pinned a message at the top that says, "Want to talk to a developer? Not here." And I linked to the Discord. And people actually stopped posting, which is kind of nice, I guess. One guy posted really angry about subterfuge, and then he erased it because I responded to him.
What? Is that the same exact thing that was on Facebook? It looks like the exact same message.
No, this guy posted the same angry message here and on Facebook, just raving about how he was going to quit the game.
He literally calls Justin stupid. Now, obviously, once Justin responded and like showed that he's a human, he backed off and he was like, how many of you are stupid to have this card?
Yeah.
Subterfuge, obviously everybody knows by now, was a huge deal, fastest nerf in DT history. But obviously I think that goes to show everybody that Justin is listening and the team is listening to everyone's feedback.
Webhooks are amazing, but not for this format. Really, Kevin does a good job of posting, so as long as he is posting the weekly updates, I usually put them on Wednesday on Steam. That way I have 48 hours to fix any bugs like subterfuge. And then if he posts it like Wednesday night or Thursday morning, then he should be pretty good at monitoring most of the responses. I don't know that Kevin gets to Facebook. Julie and I usually manage the Facebook responses.
He definitely does.
But
I also, my life also is that I'm kind of addicted, unfortunately, to Facebook and other social media. I spend a stupid amount of time staring at stuff. So I do see a lot, and I literally take my phone, bring it to him, put it in his face, and he used to be like, no, but now he just knows. He just responds, gives my phone back to me, and we move on. Yeah.
So I mean, I can't allow just copying and pasting the blog to multiple formats, but I can allow linking because it tries to funnel the communication to one or two places, which I think is very important until I have somebody working for me full time. One of the first people I hire full time will most likely not be a programmer, but it'll be like a blend between a community manager and I guess personal assistant, a little bit. Your job will be to make sure that I am not interrupted while I am finishing shit. Because I've learned hiring other programmers and stuff, it blows up in my face.
It doesn't, it doesn't often work out.
I will hire another programmer when I can pay them full time, and when they don't deliver 2 sprints in a row, I can fire them and move on. It won't be friendly.
Yeah.
It'll be a very...
It's business.
It'll be very business oriented.
And I do tread with caution because there's been a lot of people that have helped out. But yes, unfortunately with programming, Justin really has a vision and knows what he wants to do. He knows what tools he wants to use, how he wants to use everything. And
what are you nudging, Doom Guy? What's up? He's nudging me.
About jobs.
Jobs.
but that's the thing. I mean, he's put his time in. He's worked for other people that he didn't agree with. He's done things other people's way. He fucking hates it, by the way. And he's finally at a point in his actual personal career, and then with Doomtrooper, where he's learned enough, and he knows what he wants to do. He knows why he wants to do it. Yeah, he'll listen to you when you come and you're like, oh, I really want to do it this way. But I really think that you have earned this by what you've done. You
Docker, thank you for following.
Yes, thank you.
She's right. I hate working under most people, present day job excluded. My present day job is amazing. It's a very smart person focused company where they trust me to be smart, and that's what I need.
It's so important because he had a job recently where they didn't care about what he thought, and it just was a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, it was a video streaming company named after a planet that's actually not a planet anymore, but I'm not going to tell you which one. They were very, one guy specifically was just very adamant that he needed to be the boss, and he was the boss. He was hired. He was hired to be like the boss of the engineering, but he didn't really have a lot of modern, like, where is the web and iOS industry going, like, in 2020 or whatever year it was. He had old school knowledge, and
17?
they did what most startups do, which I hate. Slack is notorious for this. I'll use Slack as an example. Slack hired a bunch of cheap foreign labor developers to make their vertical slice so they could release it and raise money. They released it, people loved it, investors loved it, and they raised money. Then Slack blew up and got millions of users, and everyone wanted to use it to replace email, and their server started crashing. Every 10 minutes, server go down. Like, Slack was not usable at all. So then, this is the game everybody plays. They say, cool, now we have $10 million in the bank. Can we spend that money fast enough to keep the servers live so that we can get to the next phase, or will we fail and crash and burn and some other company will beat us? That's the game that every startup plays, is make a shitty product that has a shiny outside, raise money, and spend money as fast as possible to keep up with demand. And that's it. And that's what Pluto did. I hate that. And I obviously have not done that with Doomtrooper. I have stuck to the vision, and I've coded properly, and I am sticking to my master plan. But Pluto sold for, I think, $3 billion recently, and I am completely broke. So
in debt.
The word of the week is wisdom. And I have enough wisdom to realize that what Pluto did and what Slack did is not wrong. They made a product and they sold that product, and they are all rich. And my friend is the founder. He is flying around with a bunch of Instagram influencers on private jets all over Europe every day, eating the fanciest food in the world and living in Malibu or something. Like, he's living the dream. So I can't say that they did it wrong, but
they did it wrong for the user experience, I would guess.
I don't know.
I don't actually know.
I have spent a lot of time here crafting a plan that goes against that, because I don't want a shitty card game built on a shitty engine. I want a good card game built on a good engine where both of them can become great together, and the engine can be reused and made into multiple games and released to the public to make their own games with the tools. And that has been my vision. It's more in line with before Elon Musk got crazy and he wrote his vision of the Model S was going to be a luxury car used to fund a cheaper car for the masses. And he stuck to that, and it was very successful. I'm hoping that my vision of making a good tech and a good card game can branch out into more card games and better tech and whatnot. Like, I stick to that. So
yeah,
when somebody comes in and they're like, I'm going to do this stupid thing with your code, I'm like, no, because if you do that, you're breaking the vision and you're going to screw us up down the line. And a lot of people don't understand that, or a lot of people don't have the confidence to get response. Like, you come to me and you're like, look at this amazing thing I'm going to change. And if I say, awesome, do it, you feel great. If I say, oh, wait, hang on, that doesn't fit with the plan, a lot of people don't have the confidence to go, oh, teach me about the plan. What they say is why don't you listen to me? You don't trust me. And then they don't want to work on the project anymore.
So I will say that if you're going to try to help Justin with development, I would say that you really need to just learn instead of trying to impart your own wisdom, because he probably already knows what you're saying and has already very purposefully already made his decision on why things are the way they are.
Look, I've lost a lot of faith in a lot of people. Like, a lot of engineers have come onto this project and either bailed.
You're breaking the vision.
Either bailed and I waste a week bringing them up to speed.
More than a week.
6-7 times. I waste more than a week bringing them up to speed, answering all their questions, and then they just bail.
Yep.
Or I let them go a little crazy with the code, and then they don't finish it, and then I spend 30, 40, 50 hours rewriting their code when I should be working on something else. Sometimes
that was like last week and the week before, I think, was that exact scenario. So anyways.
Wait, so I've lost a lot of faith in a lot of people. Like earlier when I was saying, why don't you cross-post this other places? It's because people have the best intentions, but they've let me down a lot. And
self-included, I have also let Justin down many times.
So what I realized about a year ago is that this is my project to fail. And I'm not going to let it fail because I let you join the team and you refactored a bunch of stuff and you ruined the project. And I'm not going to let it fail because I thought I wanted drag and drop to work like this, but you convinced me to do it like this, and then it comes out and people hate it. Like, if I release drag and drop and people hate it, I want it to be my drag and drop because I'm the only one literally with skin in the game. I'm the only one who's working 14-hour days on the project. And until somebody else comes in with the passion that I have, then it is my project, my company to fail. And if it fails on your ideas, I'm going to resent you and me for the rest of my life. But if it fails on my ideas, I can say I did my best.
No one to blame but yourself.
I can say I did my best. And
yeah.
That's why the first version of Doomtrooper has to be my vision. Because if it fails, I have no one to blame but myself. And that's fine. Because I did my best.
That said, we love everybody who helps. It is appreciated. It's just you gotta understand every person that comes on. To manage that person takes so much time away.
The bottom line is twofold. One, every person on this project, myself included, can do more. I don't care how much I love you.
You can do any more.
No.
Please don't.
Julie can do more. Kevin can do more. Michael can do more. But wait. But I'm not paying.
There we go. That's what I was gonna say.
So you don't have to do more.
You don't.
And I can't get mad at you, and I don't get mad at you.
Anybody that's volunteering, bless you, and we appreciate you.
Yeah, I've gotten past that angry moment where I'm like, why the fuck aren't these people doing more? They're not doing more because they don't work for me. I'm not paying them. Yeah,
you're scaring everybody. You're sounding very passionate and angry right now.
It's passion, not anger, I assure you.
Oh my god, wait, Kevin, Sin, you're like the MVP here, so please.
Yes, Kevin is our MVP.
Please, don't even.
I'm just saying, technically, I could do more.
I've seen Coke Fiends rant less. This fucker does rant a lot.
I'm saying I can do more if Doomtrooper had $1 million in the bank and was paying my salary.
Then you wouldn't have the other job, and yeah, you could be 20.
And if I hired Kevin to work 40 hours a week and I paid him accordingly, he could do more. And if you quit your job and you became my chief marketing officer, you could do more.
Hell yeah.
Like, that's my point. So I'm not mad at anybody for not doing more unless connecting all the pieces. You tell me, I really want to Reddit, or I really want you to cross-post these blogs and I'll handle it. And then you don't. Then I will get mad because you made more work for me based on something that you intended. But if you just do what you're told me you're going to do, and you do what you can, then that's all I can ask for, and that's all I need right now.
There's so many people in this video or this stream and chat right now that are so helpful and so integral to Doomtrooper's success. Like so many, like literally everybody that's in here is, for the most part, has been super helpful.
You know, it really grinds my gears.
It already is.
I hate it when doors have a handle and you need to push the door. If it's a push, it should be a piece of metal that you push. If it's a pull, it should have a handle. If you have a handle on a push, grinds my gears. What is wrong with you?
See, like, there's always a moment on any stream he does, Tuesday, Thursday, I just watch, I just wait, and he just goes into this rant, and he's just, like, passionately speaking about something, and I'm just, like, watching the viewer count drop, and I'm like, all right, babe, wrap it up. That's always something.
On what she was saying though, like people in this chat, like names I recognize.
So
like,
many people, yeah.
I mean, Mung, Doom Guy, Buck, Seven,
Thorgal.
Thorgal was here.
Obviously, Sin's Twitter, yeah.
Michael, Sin, like all these people. If I recognize your name,
yes, we do.
I pretty much consider you part of the team.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't mean I'm paying you. Don't. This is not a legally binding employment offer.
Everybody knows that already.
I want this game. I've always said I want this game to be a community thing. Like this passion, this grinded gears. This is why you have Doomtrooper where everyone else who has tried has failed. This passion got the IP from Fred. This passion got to Brian's house in Wisconsin to design the card set. And this passion works every night until I need to drink to fall asleep in order to push updates every week. So, like, this passion is the same passion that a lot of you guys have for classic Doomtrooper and why you're here to help make the game as good as it is.
Yeah, attic-based games. Now we just need the graphic for OBS's Justin's rant time. You know what really grinds my gears? Yeah. We need that. It's funny that you said that because I thought of the same
camera
exact thing.
too.
You know what I think? Why is it called taking a dump instead of leaving a dump? You're not actually taking it anywhere.
And now poop jokes.
It's a Beavis and Butthead.
So yeah, I want it to be a community game and I want everyone to help. But on the flip side, I want everyone to remember that I am working my ass off on this and it is early access. And if you guys can post some reviews that are positive to get us out of mixed territory, you will help not grind my gears.
Why are feet smelling and noses running? It's funny.
FYI, during my rant, our view count went up, so screw you.
Ooh,
Passion.
Look at that. Did you want to talk about Subdrip? Because Thorgal way back said, I have a new Nerf idea. Let's move the card to...
I saw.
Okay.
Why do we park on driveways and drive on parkways? So Subterfuge is getting turned off tomorrow. Just off.
Just gone?
Yeah, because...
Wow.
It's impossible to decide the validity of a Nerf or the validity of the power of the card when the card is currently immune to miscommunication. So I need to fix the card so that it can be miscommunicated before it can be used. So that's why I kind of kept quiet about further nerfing it when everybody's freaking out about it. Like, it's going to get turned off tomorrow. There'll be a message when you log in, and
that's it for now.
That's it. So
that's it.
I'll have to finish some other stuff. Then we'll turn it back on when I fix the miscommunication aspect of it so that you have a defense against it. Because it is a fake card, but it breaks the rules of Doomtrooper, which is the main problem. So maybe there is no valid fix and maybe we have to redesign it, because Doomtrooper states that cards resolve immediately and then responses can be played. There is no stack like in Magic. So if that's the case, Subterfuge should resolve immediately, which removes all your cards. So how would you miscommunicate it? There's no... I might decide that it just breaks the core rules and it's not doable.
Sneeze again.
Unless we change it to discard all non-fate cards from their hand. So, I don't know.
Wow. 2020's most,
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, I mean, if you guys see people asking who designed this card, Brian Winter is the answer. Please spread the word. Let him get the hate mail. He designed it. Why do you allow this card in the game? Because Brian picked it, and because your house rules in the Czech Republic or in Poland are great, but they're not the official rules. So if you want to convince us to make them the official rules, be calm, join Discord, talk to us. And then lastly, why can't I miscommunicate it? Because Doomtrooper does not have a stack and cards resolve immediately, and technically the way the card functions right now is correct. It follows the rule. Just because your house rules break the rules for Subterfuge and allow you to miscommunicate it doesn't mean that that is the valid rules, because Doomtrooper cards resolve immediately according to Brian.
It's only one original designer, and he's a very nice man.
He may have been on drugs. I don't know. He seemed like the type. Love you, Brian.
Like the nicest Midwestern guy. Like just typical, like, nice
yeah,
guy.
But if Brian was like, hey, you want to smoke some weed? I'd be like, yeah, all right.
Well, weed is one of God's gifts to us, so duh.
Maybe make a fortification if I fake cards. I do like the idea of a fortification or a support card that gives the game no fate. I've been toying with that idea. I don't think we have one right now, but that's a very powerful ability though. Extremely powerful. So we'll see. But yeah, keep the Subterfuge stuff coming. I will turn it off tomorrow until I have time. But I have to finish the drag and drop and the deck builder and the 0.9 stuff probably before I have time to fix the miscommunication stuff.
To be fair.
Yeah, there weren't any CCG standard. You can't play half the cards in your deck? Wait, what? Are you referring to classic Doomtrooper when you got a starter deck and half the cards weren't playable? Oh, if the board got no fate, yeah. But this is not a game about fate cards. As much as you guys make it into that, or the designers make it into that. It's a game about squad-based combat where fate cards change the course of the battle. So the more we hone in on that, the better the game will feel. While hopefully still allowing for like control decks. But yeah.
I love you.
Nope. Yelling at me on stream.
It's just like realistic. We have conversations like this like every week.
I'm sorry, I should have said, I know. I love you, I know.
No. Ditto.
I love you too.
Oh my god, I get a fucking head pat like I'm 5.
It's never enough for some people.
Don't do that. Don't pat your...
How are we feeling about
partner
Capital's
in
win
it.
rate? There's 2 answers to that. I don't like it, but I did remove the Capital quest from rotation. So nobody will be receiving should be receiving Capital quests for dailies, which should bring less people who are just playing Capital for the quest, as you always claim. Now, if you play Capital, you're just doing it because you want to win. You can no longer use that excuse as I'm just doing a quest. Sorry, I kicked your ass so badly. On the flip side, I feel like, so we're adding like powers and abilities to all the factions that make them unique. I feel like Capital is unique in terms of they don't get anything special, but they're super powerful. And that might just end up being what sets them apart in the base set. And the other cards will require more synergy and abilities, but Capital just gets raw power. And as long as the win rate evens out and they have proper counters, it should work itself out. What do you think about Pro Mode? You cannot use the same faction deck twice before using the others. The same problem I have with everything else, Thorgal, is we don't have enough players to split the lobby more often than just events. Like we can do ranked match and an event that happens for a couple days on the weekend, then it goes away, and then everyone's back in ranked. If we get a little more players, we could do ranked and casual, where you play multiplayer and it doesn't track your stats, if there's a demand for that. But if we do play ranked and then we do like pro mode versus non-pro mode, then you have a bunch of people in different lobbies complaining that they can't find anyone to play against. And that's what I'm trying to avoid. I do think pro mode could happen for an event. We could say like, welcome to Friday through Monday. You can do the special event, which is pro mode, like you're describing, and it goes away on Monday. So it kind of forces people into that mode more so than ranked match for a couple days, but then they just go back to ranked match. Like, that's okay. Yeah, draft is on the way too. Most of the functionality we need for draft is in. It's just we would need to connect all the pieces, which would take a couple weeks, and I don't know if it'll get in. The plan right now is to finish what we promised the Kickstarter, which we're real close, the next month and a half, and then do another Kickstarter for an expansion and adding draft mode. I hope we'll be able to do. Small Kickstarter. Because the next focus after we're done here and you have your base set and your opening packs is going to be localization in multiple languages, draft mode, and the first expansion. We'll be able to cross-faction on draft. Probably. I think so. If I were coding it right now, yeah, you would just get completely random-ass cards, and you would have to form a deck, which kind of completely changes the strategy, because the cards and the synergy will work completely different if you're choosing from all cards. So I think that'll be fun. Draft mode is so close. Yeah, so ideally, how this will work is I will release the new dragging and the new deck builder in roughly the next week, and then I will be spending the next 5 weeks or so just adding cards and increasing like the UI to make it better for new players, which includes a new tutorial. Then around Halloween, we will enter the next phase of beta with supporter packs and opening packs and getting all that stuff going, so we can test opening packs and balancing some more cards. And then sometime by the end of the year, we will end that phase of beta, and you'll be able to complete your collection for the final time. You won't get to reopen your packs anymore. And we will start working on the first expansion, draft mode, Kickstarter, that kind of stuff. So, end of the year, fingers crossed. Especially if this quarantine keeps going and we don't have anything else to do.
Also cleaning our apartment. That's the other thing we do. And cook food. Feels like that's all we do. We work and cook food.
Which faction is getting some love in the Tuesday update? So one of our person helping with cards quit. One of them moved and got a new desk and hasn't set everything up. One of them has been taking a class and hasn't been able to work, and one of them is Invader, and he's been MIA for a long time. So not a lot of card love in this update. My time has been taken up by fixing the drag and drop and the new deck builder, but I'm hoping to at least add 1 or 2 new cards in, especially to replace turning off Subterfuge. Kinda.
Yeah.
He couldn't decide if he wanted to invest his time in Doomtrooper in exchange for partial ownership of the company, or if he wanted to work on and I'm assuming a lot of this, company him and his girlfriend started. And then he told me it was me, and then he told her it was her, and then I think he had trouble balancing, and I think she won, the best I can figure out.
Well, I mean, they live together, so yeah.
He did not say bye. I don't know if he even sees these streams or reads our Twitter or whatever. He still has the Doomtrooper spreadsheet open on his computer. He has had it open for like 3 years. I don't think he literally ever closes his tabs.
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's up with him.
I keep a decent amount of tabs open, but I usually close the ones that aren't relevant to me at the time as much as I can.
To be completely honest, last I heard from him, he was tweeting about how 180,000 people dying in America of COVID is an acceptable loss, and we need to reopen the economy. And I may have said something against that. And I do know Matt from the Secret Cow level team and him got into it a little bit over those topics. I don't think that's why he quit or went MIA, but yeah.
So awkward. Let's move on.
He has some strong political views.
That I don't think the rest of anybody else on the team shares, actually. So that was always a little awkward anyways, for us.
So
He is, yeah, apparently he's one of those types.
Really, Thorgal, about the cards, like, I feel bad that I'm not having a lot of time to add a bunch of cards this week, but in order to do, like, a mad rush to add cards, I have to finish the deck builder and the drag and drop stuff, and I had to fix all of the timer bugs and the UI lockups that were reported and all that shit. So, I feel like this is the last hurdle preventing me from diving into new cards and fixing some of the base rules to fix and add some of the other new cards. Like, for example, power immunity turns itself off before value calculation. So if a guy has power immunity and he's fighting a heretic, the heretic won't get the fight, shoot, and armor. But when he kills the heretic, he'll get the full value that came from monstrous power, ungodly power, all that. And that's not right. If he has power immunity, those should be turned off for the sake of calculation of the rewards he gets as well as the combat. but that's a tricky thing to do. So there's a lot of little things like that I need to get into that will fix existing cards, as well as like fixing stuff with Young Guard so that we can add more ability interrupts, and fixing stuff with combat so that I can add post-combat interrupts. Basically, there's going to be, as soon as combat ends, you're going to see a card pop up that says, combat resolved, and it gives you a chance to play an interrupt. Because there are a lot of cards that you can play after combat, and we want to make sure we give you a clear chance to play something right when combat ends. But that's going to be a little tricky to add as well. So, but that'll be good. I don't know that I will get to it, but I do hope to add the Gehenna Puker flamethrower on Monday's update. It's going to be a very early version of what I hope it will become, but I think it'll be interesting. So something else for people to complain about, I'm sure.
Hey, it's Liquid Death.
Doom Guy says also computer updates. Oh, for his, yeah, I don't know how he stays logged into that thing forever. Yeah, I don't know. So, I think we're about done here. Hey, we got some bits. Some bitty bits. Thank you, Doom Guy. Look at it filling up my cup in the corner there. That is amazing. I appreciate
I'm watching them fall in there.
Yeah, it's fun. As always, if you have Twitch Prime and you're not giving it to somebody else, consider giving it to us. We're here every week, grinding away, just trying to get rid of that mixed review score on Steam. Also, you can subscribe Tuesday and Thursdays mostly. You're pushing me.
Seeing this?
Try again. I have to.
Man, and he has not returned it.
I have to brace myself because I have rollerblade wheels on my chair. Yeah, I'm going to post on Discord about the reviews as well. Subscribe, though, follow, turn on notifications. Tuesdays and Thursday nights we do programming, and then Sundays we just kind of chat about the state of the game and what we're working on with the updates and stuff. So, doing our best here.
We are doing our best. That is true. That is true.
I am excited, though. I mean, like I said, this update, lore cards, mission cards, Kickstarter updates, new drag and drop foundation, and the foundation for future UI, UX, quality of life stuff that people have been requesting. It's a pretty good update, and it's really not a huge amount of stress. It's just a lot of refactors and cleaning up some code. So that's really exciting for me. I like, as Julie knows, I've been excited. I come out there and I'm like, Julie, I just did this cool thing and blah, blah. As opposed to like me in here pulling my hair out by clumps because I can't figure out why Invader's code is causing the combat UI to lock up. Like, I don't want to work on those bugs. I want to work on new stuff, new cards, new UI, new menus, like quality of life, balance updates. I want to do all of that. And I can't do that when I'm fixing fires that I don't understand other people's code. So, yeah. I spent like 8 hours refactoring the drag and drop, I think, yesterday and this morning. So I'm excited to get back to it, though, because it feels really good to be seeing good code in the UI instead of old bad code that 30 people have touched. So that's exciting. So yeah, definitely play Doomtrooper. Definitely write reviews. Definitely follow the stream. There is... How is it? Somebody's gonna... There is this... I remembered this secret feature for development that loads the old Halloween event. And I added this, hey guys, remember when we messed this up dialogue. It is unique because you are playing a pre-made heretic deck. You start with 0 destiny, and your opponent is the bot, and he's playing Cybertronic. So it's kind of interesting, and it kind of reminded me that we did do some work on allowing the AI to play different things and customized rules on events. It's interesting to me to remember that we did all that. And I was saying earlier about the bar graphs, you know, the AI playing different factions, like that bar graph is pretty high. and doing custom events like this where there's new rules and special decks with cards you don't own, like that bar is across the finish line. Like that works already. Dialogue popping in at the beginning of the quest, that's done too. We have all these pieces. It's just connecting them now and cleaning them up and stuff, which is kind of fun. So yeah, I really, I think things are coming together. I'm very excited.
Yes.
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 So yeah.
I feel pretty good about this.
What, the stream?
I think we did good. I think it's almost 12:30 and
I also fixed the bug, by the way, in the upper corner. I forgot to make sure that your opponent's card back shows up here. So they do show up in the latest update in the hand, but they don't show up in the draw pile, so I fixed that. So you will properly see your opponent's card back now, which is a big deal if you spend a bunch of time collecting a fancy card back.
Because what's the point if you can't show it off?
Yep. So, yep. Thank you guys for hanging out, and I'm going to go make some lunch and take the dog out, and then I will be back on Discord, and I'll be working on finishing this drag and drop stuff so that I can push it out in the update.
Yes.
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 Thank you guys for hanging out. I will leave you with our wonderful Liquid Death advertisement since I didn't show it at the beginning, and personally I really dig it. I don't really have a better screen to end on. So thank you guys for hanging out. Order Liquid Death if you want. We are placing an order.
If you're thirsty.
If you're thirsty, you can use our code to get some Liquid Death. It is frosty, cold, and delicious, sparkling or still water. I wanted to be sponsored by them. They did not reach out to me. I made this happen because I believe in this product, because who doesn't want a decaying corpse on their water as they're drinking it? So stick around, hide young children, hide your kids, hide your wife. I'll see you on Discord, and I'll see you programming on Tuesday.
Bye, y'all.
Missed it. Peace.
Sourced and bottled in majestic mountains, Liquid Death Mountain Water will murder your thirst.
No.